Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with another Universal Analyst League battle. We're taking on Mudbud and the coach of the Chicago Blaziken. And as you can see, I brought a defensive toxic Vaporeon. Well, you can't see that, but I brought a Vaporeon, Florges, Fortress, Jirachi, MegaCham, and Thunderous Incarnate. And here's my defensive core. These three: defensive Vaporeon, defensive Florges, and specially defensive Fortress with the Custap and the spikes and the rocks, as well as the explosion and gyro ball. Then a Wish, Pass, Moonblast, Toxic Florges, and a Toxic Wish Scald Vaporeon. Scarf, Rachi, flincher, master of flinches, and then MegaCham, the fucking wall breaker. And then we got the Thunderous Incarnate, which is a setup sweeper, and looks like it has the potential to set up and sweep in this match if I weaken everything just enough and maybe take out the eel. Anyway, she brought Arcanine, maybe a defensive Arcanine for my MegaCham. Got the Sylveon, the Latias, whatever you want to say. Mega Aggron, pretty good Pokemon in the format. Azelf, and of course Electros, the eel. And so yeah, let's turn this off real quick and then hop into the battle. I lead Jirachi just to see, what he's gonna lead with, and I go for the Heart Stamp, Heart Stamp. Excuse me. As he goes for the Volt Switch and brings out his Arcanine, so that tells me it's probably a defensive set. So I'm gonna switch out to my Vaporeon. It shouldn't have the Wild Charge, and here he Toxics me, and I Toxic back, but he switches out to the Sylveon, which is fine by me. And I go into my Florges here and find out that this Sylveon's actually offensive, so it's going to be problematic for my team. As you can see, it does major damage even to my Jirachi. Pixelate is not a ability to play around with. Life Orb, modest Sylveon, that's probably what it is, but very powerful. And I bring in my Jirachi, and he switches out to his Arcanine and reveals to be Rocky Helmet. And I just went for the U-turn and brought out my Florges to go for the aromatherapy and get this toxic off of my Vaporeon, as well as try to toxic him on the following turn. And he toxic me on the same turn that I went for the aromatherapy, so I was able to make sure that I wasn't toxic with my Florges either. Here he goes for the Volt Switch. I kind of predicted the Flamethrower, but he didn't go for it, which was fine by me. I'm just going to set up a layer of spikes here, and he's going to be able to defog, which is okay. I got paralyzed there. I went for spikes again, and he sets up the Wish there, and he's going to be able to just defog away every time he wants. But he actually goes into his Sylveon here, revealing that he's probably got the Hidden Power Fire, which will knock me out from this range, even though I'm max Spadef. And I would go into my Jirachi and pull a double, expecting the Arcanine to come out, but he actually goes into his Aggron, which is fine by me. He's just going to switch out to his Latias here and take the Scald, no problem. And then I'm going to throw off a Toxic as he goes for the Defog. And now I'm sitting in a comfortable position because he has Wish, which leads me to believe he doesn't have Healing Wish. And the Sylveon being offensive would make me think that it doesn't have Heal Bell as well. So pretty much I'm just trying to get everything in range for my Thunderous or my MegaCham. And it doesn't take much to be in MegaCham range. He's going to pass another Wish to his Aggron. And I thought he was going to go to his Sylveon again, so I hard switched into my Jirachi. And he reveals Earthquake as I switch into my Vaporeon. And now I can just double into my MegaCham, expecting the Latias, in which Fake Out plus Bullet Punch could knock out. So I go for the Fake Out, and he ends up bringing out his Arcanine actually. So I'm gonna switch right back into my Vaporeon as he reveals to be Will-O-Wisp and Toxic, which is a pretty nice set, especially versus my team. But I'm gonna be able to pull a double again as he switches out to his Latias. I switch out into my Jirachi, and then I double again out into my Vaporeon, predicting the Arcanine to come back out. And now I can just fire off a Scald, or actually go for Wish. So now I can fire off a Scald or pass this Wish into my Jirachi, which is what I'm going to do. And it was well needed too, because the Rocky Helmet damage was just becoming just a little too much. Just going to go for the U-turn on the eel and bring out my Mega MegaCham and show off some power here with the high jump kick. I get a critical hit, but it didn't matter. Now he's going to bring out the Arcanine, and I'm going to double into my going to switch into my Vaporeon, not double, excuse me. And I'm just going to get off a Toxic here. And he goes for the Psyshock, which does a good amount of damage, possibly a 3-hit KO on my Florges. So I'm just going to throw off a Moonblast here, and he's going to bring out the Aggron here, and I make a misplay and I go for the Aromatherapy when my Vaporeon was pretty much dead anyway. So it didn't matter because he also made a misplay going for the Earthquake. But here I'm able to bring back in my Mega MegaCham after sacrificing my Florges, and I can go for the high jump kick on the Arcanine, and since he's defensive I can 2-hit KO with my speed being higher. And now I'm going to switch out as he goes into his Azelf, and he goes for the Psyshock. And now I'm going to be able to bring in my Jirachi here and just go for a U-turn as he brings in the Aggron here, and I'm just going to be able to go for the high jump kick, and it's going to knock out the Latias with ease because high jump kick is nothing to play around with. And I'm going to be able to go back into my Jirachi here on the Azelf as it sets up a nasty plot. So this was kind of scary, but Jirachi being the flinch master can just go for Iron Head there, and probably couldn't have knocked me out anyway, maybe, but I mean he would have died to Toxic anyway. So, and I didn't really need Jirachi at that point anyway. So I go bring out my Thundurus here as he brings out the Aggron, and he goes for Thunder Wave as I switch into my Thundurus, and I'm able to pick it off as he brings in his Sylveon, and I get some good damage on it with Thunderbolt before bringing in my Mega MegaCham to knock out the Sylveon. And yeah, that's going to be a good game. We get a 2-0 victory there against the Chicago Blaziken and Mudbud. So we move to, I think, 5-2. So yeah, good game to Mudbud, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, see you guys next time.